Good evening, class. My name is Mahalia Francis, and this evening I'm going to be speaking on immigration. This video presentation is on immigration. It speaks demographically on who are today's immigrants and how are they classified by the United States government, who is allowed in and who is kept out, why and what is driving the immigrant population movements. Today, immigrants consist of the foreign-born population and the undocumented immigrants. The foreign-born population consisted of 40.7 million people in 2012. The foreign-born population was composed of 18.6 million naturalized U.S. citizens and 22.1 million non-citizens in 2012. Of the non-citizens, approximately 13.3 million were legal permanent residents, 11.3 million were undocumented immigrants, and 1.9 million were on temporary visas. Latinos and Asian Americans comprise of a significant segment of the U.S. population. Latinos comprise of 16.9% of the total U.S. population in 2012, while Asian Americans made up 5.1% of the population. The Asian American population saw a growth of 46% from year 2000 to the year 2010, and growth of 10% from the year 2010 to 2013. Center for American Progress Immigration Team 2014. Today, women outnumber men in foreign population. In 2012, 51.4% of the U.S. immigrant population was female. There is almost 1 million lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgenders, or LGBTs, adult immigrants in the United States today. The Center for American Progress Immigration Team 2014 stated that the U.S.-born children of immigrants are more likely to go to college, less likely to live in poverty, and equally likely to be homeowners as average Americans. The majority of undocumented immigrants are long-term residents, committed to living in the United States. In 2013, the median length of residence for unauthorized immigrants in the United States was 13 years. Undocumented immigrants comprise a disproportionately large percentage of the labor force relative to the size of the overall population. In 2010, 8.4 million undocumented immigrants were employed in the United States. They represented 5.2% of the labor force, although they comprise only 3.7% of the U.S. population. Who is allowed in and who is kept out, and why? In 2013, the Senate passed the Immigration Reform Bill, the Border Security, Economic Opportunity, and Immigration Modernization Act, Article S-744, which provides a detailed guideline for citizenship and undocumented immigrants. The bill puts the majority of the 11 million undocumented immigrants on a 13-year pathway to citizenship. Registered Provisional Immigrant Program are for undocumented immigrants who have met certain requirements. These requirements include the ability to pass background checks, paid fees, and fines, which will enable them to live in the United States, work and travel abroad without fear of deportation. Article S-744 also includes the DREAM Act provision. The provision allows any and everyone who entered the country before the age of 16, has completed high school and some college or military service, and who has been in a registered provisional immigrant status for at least 5 years, the ability to apply for the permanent residence and citizenship. In regards to who is left out, non-citizens may be found inadmissible or deportable and removed from the U.S. if they have committed certain offenses which resulted in felonies or misdemeanor charges, participated in terrorist acts, or belong to other excluded categories. Immigrants who have been admitted to the United States can be subject to deportation or found to be deportable immigrants who are applying for admission to the U.S. or are applying for lawful status in the U.S. may be found to be inadmissible. What is driving population movements? Schwab 2013 reports scientists believe there are four broad factors that drive migration, which is the push factors, the pull factors, social networks, and intervening barriers. Push factors include wars, famines, natural disasters, and authoritarian or corrupt governments that sometimes give migrants a stark choice: stay and die or migrate and live. Social scientists describe pull factors as forces present in countries with stable governments and the rule of law. These countries offer the promise of jobs, economic opportunities, safety, and a higher quality of life for immigrants and their families. Social networks based in kinship, friendship, and shared hometown links immigrants and potential immigrants. Intervening barriers includes cost, distance, and the destination country's immigration policies and their enforcement of said policies. In today's society, when there are so many issues with immigration and with our current political status right now and the atmosphere that is surrounding the current presidential election, whereas we have one of the presidential candidates stating that he would put a stop to immigration until further actions and policies and new laws can come into play in reference to how to go about admitting certain immigrants into America. On that note, I think we should take a serious look at the 11 point percentage of the immigrants that are presently here and find a current pathway to bring them to legal status. And if that can be done and expedited much quicker than the 13-year process, I think that would do the economy good because they are working, they are paying taxes, and the taxes that they are paying presently is not going to benefit them in the future, especially when it comes time for them to retire. They would not be able to collect on those said benefits. So, or even collect from that income that they are contributing towards taxes. And eventually, it is like they never work in America. So, and that is a penalty that many of the immigrants right now, the undocumented immigrants, are being penalized for. They're paying taxes, but they do not have any claim or any status when it comes to obtaining future benefits. I am very passionate about immigration issues, and going forward, this is a topic that I will be discussing further, and um, I will be doing more research on this topic. And I just want to say it was a pleasure speaking on this topic this afternoon and sharing with the class. Thank you.